up, what's up, what's up? It's your man, ChazzEllis, once again, answering the questions that you asked me. Make sure you go to the ChazzEllisProject.com so that you can be a part of picking the next video. Also, if you want to get a consultation or you want to get the email address so that you can ask a quick question. The question I got is, how do you prove to a girl that you really love her? Sorry. Anyway, that's a good question because a lot of guys have trouble with that because a lot of women don't really believe anything we say because of a lot of stuff that they've been through with guys. The fact that most guys are complete liars kind of works against people when they don't want to do that. You know, when you want to treat a girl right and you want to love her, you're like, man, she don't believe me. I don't know why she don't believe I love her. Well, think about how many dudes probably told her that she loved her just so that they could smash. Be real with yourself. And maybe you did that to somebody else, but don't want to do that to her. You know, women don't believe a lot of what we say because we don't give them too much reason to as a whole. I'm not saying every dude out there in the world. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying as a whole, pretty much have caused them not to believe anything we say. Anyway, so these are things you have to think about when you're dealing with a woman. So I've come up with 5 things that you can do to show a woman that you do really love her and kind of, you know, establish that with her. If you got other things that you can think of, you know, put them down at the bottom and, you know, share them with people. Anyway, number 1, listen to her stories. When I say listen to her stories, I'm not really like saying listen to her story. I'm not really saying listen to a bunch of different stories or whatever. I'm talking about listen to her story so that you can implement them in your relationship. Here's what I mean. As a man, a lot of times we don't want to hear stuff about their past. We don't want to hear what they've done in their life, you know, mistakes that they've made, choices that they made that we thought might kind of be messed up. We don't want to hear that a lot of times. Unfortunately, what that does is it causes us to miss out on a lot of stuff that makes them who they are and a lot of stuff that tells us how to love them. If you're listening to a woman and you're listening to her stories, it gives you the blueprint on how to love her properly, how she wants to be loved. That's just kind of how it works. And when I say listen to their stories so you can learn how to implement, it kind of works like this. A lot of guys would be like, their girl would be like, I wish you would buy me flowers. You don't ever buy me flowers. And then the next day they'll go buy some flowers and the girl won't really seem too grateful and they'll be like, what's her problem? I bought her the flowers she asked for. Well, it wasn't really a show of love. It was a show of listening. It wasn't really a show of love as much as it was a show of obedience. Because you really didn't listen to her stories. She just told you something she wanted you to do and you did it. You don't really know what she wants. You're doing something that any dude off the street could do. I mean, any dude could say, oh, this girl probably wants some flowers. Let me buy her some. She probably wants some jewelry. Let me buy her some. When I talk about listening to her stories, it's talking about her triggers, the things in life that have made her the person that she is, and implementing those in your relationship. Here's what I mean. Say a woman was to tell you a story about her father. Man, you know, when I was a kid, my father promised to take me to Disneyland, and he never did. You know, I really wanted to go, and he just left me out, you know, just left me hanging. Then my parents broke up, and I never really saw him again, you know. And even I really would like to go to Disneyland one day, but, you know, I just feel like, you know, that's something that I can't even do no more. It's too late. Now, maybe y'all have y'all first anniversary, and you think it's something real special to do for it. You could go buy her a necklace. That's something that any dude could do for her, right? You know what I mean? Any dude could say, oh, well, girls like jewelry. Let me go buy her some jewelry. Or you might be a person to say, you know what, I'm going to step out on a limb. I'm going to do something different than any other man would do. And instead of buying her a necklace, I'm going to get her this trip to Disney World or Disneyland. Make it, you know, where I take care of everything, the reservations and all that. Basically, where she can lay back just like a kid. You know, you might come to her and say, hey, you know, I understand that when you were younger, you didn't get to go to your trip to Disneyland. You know, and I just, you know, experience being a kid again with me. Let's do it together. You know, maybe you never been to Disneyland either. So you're like, hey, let's experience that together. You know, let's do something that we always wanted to do. That'll take you up like 5,000 notches in this girl's book. And she'll know you really listening to her and you listening to her stories. You care what she's talking about. You care what her life was like before you. And you're using that to show her how much you love her. It's kind of like another dude could sit up here and buy her flowers. He's like, I'm going to buy her a dozen roses. And, you know, to try to get your girl from you or whatever. And she looking at that like, I don't even like roses. But you happen to know she likes sunflowers. Everybody don't like sunflowers. So who would know that except for somebody who's with her and was listening to her stories? When you listen to somebody's stories, you understand their triggers. You understand the things about them that are important. And when somebody sees that you listen to their stories, it definitely makes them feel that you really care. Because you're not going to sit here and remember stuff like that about somebody you don't give a damn about. Right? All right. Spontaneous, specific gifts. That kind of goes into listening to somebody's stories. You show a woman you love her by being spontaneous and specific to her. Anybody can go get her something nice. But when you do something that's spontaneous, like you didn't get in trouble, you didn't do something you weren't supposed to be doing, you ain't trying to hit it that night, you just do something really nice, spontaneous, and specific for her. Like, you know what? This is something I know you'll like. Let me do this for you. You know, just something that you would know about, something that's special. Y'all might have a special day or something funny that happened one time. You bring that up, and it lets her know that you paid attention to y'all relationship and you're an active participant. And it also lets her know that if she was ever not to be with you, nobody else could fill that in because they don't know those things. You know, nobody else could do what you do because they don't know those things. You know, you might get her something like a big-ass yellow teddy bear, and everybody's like, what kind of gift is that? That's just stupid. What is that? Oh, no. We did this thing one time with this big teddy bear. It was just crazy, you know. It's an inside thing. You wouldn't know nothing about it. You know, and you're like, but to her, she's like, oh my God, I know exactly what you're doing. You might get her some Bubblicious or something like that. And you're like, what, Bubblicious? That's what you get your girl? We don't know the story, but you do. So these specific spontaneous gifts just tells her that you're thinking about her and that you also know her story. Here's one that's kind of a little off of what I've been talking about, but being brutally honest. Kind of seems like, what? How's that showing gonna prove to her that you love her? In case you didn't notice about guys, what you do if you are a guy. About 99% of us are completely 100% full of shit. Like, all the time. We'll say anything to hit it. And it's not necessarily that, not even to say it in a bad way, just a bad person, but it's just like, most dudes are going to say whatever they need to say to hit it at any given time. Or whatever they need to say to not have conflict. Like, you know what, I ain't trying to fight with this girl. I'm just going to just make up anything. I don't want to fight. I don't want to have no problems. Forget it. Whatever, you right, babe. You know what, girl? You know what? You right. You should go ahead and quit your job and move to San Francisco with nothing else going on. Go ahead and do that, girl. You killing it. You know, that's how most guys are because we don't care. But if you love somebody, honesty is going to separate you from everybody else. When you tell a girl the truth, that's sexy to her because it's different from anything anybody else has ever done. She might get pissed off at the truth, but she gonna know that you really about something, that you really mean something, you stand for something. You love her enough to be real and not fake like most dudes are. She might get mad at you. She might go off on you when you tell the truth. But if you keep it real with a woman, she might, even though the initial response might be anger, she gonna be like, you know what, dang, he kept it real with me when everybody else would have lied. Everybody around me just telling me what I want to hear. He's different. You know, so that does show that you have a real, true, genuine emotion towards her, that you would keep it real and not just take the easy way out and so you could smash, you know. Which is what most of us do, let's be real. Defending yourself and your relationship. That's another big one, man. A woman is going to look at how you treat your relationship and what you think about it. Like, if you're willing to defend it against everybody who comes for your relationship, even her. And she's going to look at how you defend yourself and your position as a man in your relationship. Because if you don't do that, then she's thinking to herself, like, are you even invested in this? I mean, I just told you some old sideways stuff. I told you I was getting ready to go to a male strip club and rub oil all over their legs. And you was like, okay, baby, if you're cool with that, go ahead. She looking at herself like, you know, am I with this? Is this man really even want to be with me? Does he even care? He don't care what I do. He don't care. He doesn't seem to care about our relationship. your mom is talking trash about her and y'all relationship, and you just let it go. Like, okay, mom, you're right. No, the woman, she's not gonna respect that, and she's not gonna feel like you love her. She's gonna be like, dang, you didn't even defend me. You didn't even come to my rescue in this situation because you must not care enough. So you gotta defend your relationship against anything, and you gotta defend yourself because that shows her that you love her enough that you want to stand on a certain mark as a man. That's gonna tell her you love her enough that you want to, that this is how you want this relationship to go, and it matters to you. It matters how she acts. It matters how people treat you and treat your relationship. You defend that at all costs. That shows her that, wow, he really matters. I really matter to him. Give her number one priority and expect the same. You know, you got to do that. If you're making her like back burner, what do you expect? She's gonna be sitting there thinking to herself like, you don't really care about me. Now, I'm not saying quit your job and stop doing stuff, because taking care of your family and your girl and all that kind of stuff, that is important, and she may not understand that right then, but that goes also to defending yourself and your relationship. You say, hey, I need to do this for us to have certain things. She may not even understand what you're talking about or even agree with it, but she's going to be like, hey, I know this dude is always still looking out for our relationship, so I'm cool. When you put her first as a priority, she know everything you're doing is to make her life better, make her life easier, and it'll be a situation where it'll be like, okay, I know that this dude really loves me. I know he cares about me, and what he's doing is for us. You know, I gotta trust him and believe in him because everything he does tells me that he's about us. You know, so I want to see him succeed. I want to see him win because that's us winning. You know, and she'll be more defensive of you. I'm telling you this: if you make a woman really feel that you love her, and she loves you, you'll have no greater defender in your life. I'm telling you, like, you have no greater defender in your life. Her sister could be over here talking about, girl, he ain't nothing. She's like, you know what? I hit you with a brick. You say something else like that about him. Girl, I wasn't even talking about him. I was talking about that dude down the street. See, I switched conversations. You didn't even know. I'm telling you, your girl will be down for you like that if she feels that you really love her and she loved you to begin with. So some of these things you need to try. They work. It just, a lot of it may seem like common sense, but a lot of stuff that may seem like common sense ain't common sense to us. Just being real. So that's some things you can work. Make sure you hit me up on the ChazzEllisProject.com. Also, if you want to be a part of the live stream that I'm going to do on Sunday, October the 26th, go to the Chaz Ellis Project and get connected with that. It's going to be about online dating, what to put on your profiles, what to put on Facebook, how to text people, stuff like that. Giving you just some of the different information about how to use social media in the dating world. Just because, that's the way it is now. If you don't really understand this social media, if you don't really understand this electronic communication, it will cost you. You be putting all kind of stuff, texting somebody 27 times. What did you mean by that? You don't want to be that person. Once again, it's your man, Chaz Ellis. Make sure you like and subscribe and also share with somebody else. Peace.